He promised he was just reconnecting with an old friend. But I saw the hotel charges and booked the room next door. That night, I recorded everything. When he got home, I played the video on our living room TV. He dropped to his knees as I said, I, 42 female, never thought my marriage would end like this. Not after everything we'd been through. My name is Dana. I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Martin and I were together for 18 years. Married for 14. We don't have kids. Not because we didn't want them, but because we tried, and it just never happened. I stopped bringing it up after my last miscarriage. He did too. We buried that pain together, or so I thought.
I always thought we had a solid marriage.
Not perfect, but stable. Predictable. We had routines. He liked hot coffee first thing in the morning. I always made sure it was ready before he came downstairs. He had a habit of leaving his socks next to the bed instead of the hamper. I complained every time, but I still picked them up. He worked at an insurance firm in town. I worked part-time at a small women's clinic. The plan was always that I'd work less, focus more on the house, and later on the kids. When the kids didn't come, I just kept doing my part. Cooking, cleaning, groceries, all of it. Things started changing last spring. It was a Wednesday night. We were sitting on the couch watching some show about couples flipping houses. Martin's phone buzzed. He picked it up instantly and started texting back fast. I leaned over just enough to catch a glimpse of a name at the top. Rachel P. I had no clue who that was. I didn't say anything right away. But then he smiled a little while texting and turned his phone face down on the table. That was weird. Later that night, I asked casually, "Who's Rachel P.?" He didn't even flinch. Old friend from high school. She moved to Ohio years ago. Just caught up recently on Facebook. Her husband left her, so she's been going through a rough patch. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. He started coming home later. Said he was picking up more work, helping out some overwhelmed coworker named James. I believed him at first. He'd been with the company for years and had always been loyal. Then one night, around midnight, I got up to grab some water. His phone was on the kitchen counter. Buzzed again. Another message from Rachel. Just said, "Same place Friday?" I didn't open the message. I didn't touch the phone. I just stood there, staring at that little screen lighting up in the dark kitchen. The next morning, I smiled and made his coffee, like always. But my stomach was a knot. Something was off. That Friday, he said he had to work late. Something about a client mess-up. He left at 4:30, same time as usual, dressed like he was heading to a casual meeting.
No laptop bag.
No notes.
No urgency.
I waited until he left. Then I checked our joint credit card online. That's when I saw it. Marriott Hotel, King of Prussia, $218.39. It was from the last Friday. I remember that day clearly. He said he had to work late that night too. Came home after 10, smelling like some cheap cologne I didn't recognize. I didn't say anything then either. I just saved a screenshot. I wanted to be wrong. I wanted this to be a misunderstanding. I wanted it to be some dumb mistake I could yell at him about and forgive later. But I wasn't wrong. The next week, I waited until he was asleep and checked his email. He always left his laptop unlocked. It took less than 2 minutes to find it. They'd been emailing for 4 months. There were hotel reservations, old yearbook photos, long messages about how they used to have a connection, how she should have picked him instead, and even some naked pictures she sent. He responded with photos too. And they weren't just emotional messages. They had calendars blocked off. Specific dates, times, and locations. One of them was coming up in 3 days. Friday again. Same Marriott. Same check-in window. That night, I cried in the shower. But only for 20 minutes. After that, I got calm. Real calm. I printed out every email. Every receipt. Every photo. I put them in a binder. I booked a room next to theirs under a fake name, paid with cash, and used my mom's old camera and recorder. I told work I had a family emergency and needed Friday off. I packed my bag, drove up early, and waited. At 6:12 p.m., I heard voices outside my door. Laughing. His laugh. Her giggle. He knocked once, playfully. Then their door opened. Room 326. I was in 324. I opened my door just a crack. I watched them walk in. His hand on her hip. Her hand grabbing his tie. I waited 5 more minutes. Then I stepped into the hallway. Their door hadn't clicked shut. I slipped my phone into my coat pocket and turned on the voice recorder. I lifted my mom's camera and started filming through the small crack. I didn't want to see what I saw, but I needed to. The noises started almost right away. She was loud. He kept telling her how much he missed her, how he still dreamed about prom night. It was disgusting. I filmed 10 minutes of it. Then I went back to my room and transferred everything onto a flash drive. I stayed the night. I wanted to be calm when I confronted him. The next morning I drove home, made myself coffee, and waited. He came back Saturday around noon. Said traffic had been rough. Gave me a kiss. I didn't flinch. I nodded and asked him if he wanted eggs. He smiled and said, "You're the best." Monday night, he took a long shower. While he was in there, I plugged the flash drive into our living room TV. I queued up the video, sat down on the couch, and waited. When he came out, the screen lit up. The moaning started. Her voice. His face. His voice. Clear as day. He froze. He stood there, dripping wet, towel around his waist, mouth wide open. "Dana, what is this? What the hell is this?" I looked at him, dead in the eyes. "You tell me." He dropped to his knees like someone punched him. I didn't mean for it to go that far. We were just talking at first, I swear to God. It wasn't serious. She was there, and I felt lost. Like I needed something and I cut him off. "No, you don't get to say that. You lied. You planned this. You left me home like a fool. You slept with her in hotel rooms while I waited up, wondering if you were safe." He started crying. I didn't move. I just said, "You broke us." I dropped a thick manila envelope on the coffee table. Divorce papers. Already signed. Already filed. My lawyer had mailed them to me the week before. "I'm done," I said. He begged. Sobbed. Grabbed my leg and clung to it like a child. I didn't flinch. "You need to leave. Tonight." He refused at first. Said he had nowhere to go. I reminded him Rachel existed. He didn't like that. I told him he had 30 minutes before I called the cops. He left in 20. I thought the worst was over once Martin walked out that night. I was wrong. 3 days later, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I let it go to voicemail. A few minutes later, I played it back. It was her. Rachel. Her voice was higher than I expected. Too sweet. Almost fake. "Hi, Dana. This is Rachel Peterson. I just wanted to say, I think what you did was cruel. Martin was trying to get his life together, and you ambushed him. That wasn't fair to either of you. Maybe if you had treated him better, he wouldn't have come looking for someone who actually listens. I hope you find peace, or whatever it is you're missing." I stood there with my mouth open, holding my phone like it was covered in poison. She had the nerve to call me and say that. Like she was the victim. Like I ruined her relationship. I didn't respond. Not yet. I wanted to see what would happen next. Turns out Rachel didn't know Martin had been emailing 2 other women. Yeah. I found them when I was finishing up the file for my lawyer. Martin had forgotten to log out of his Gmail on our old iPad. 2 different women. Both younger. One lived in New Jersey. The other worked at a car rental place near his office. Their conversations were dirtier, shorter, but just as clear. He had been cheating on Rachel, too. So, I printed everything. All the messages. Dates. Photos. Screenshots. I even found an email where he told one of the women, "My wife doesn't know I'm still seeing Rachel. Don't worry." He used the phrase, "still seeing." As in after I found out. After I confronted him. I put all of it into a new envelope. I mailed it to Rachel's apartment. No note. No return address. 2 days later, I got another voicemail. Rachel again. "You're insane. You're a bitter, lonely psycho. Stay out of my life." Then, silence. A week passed. Then Martin showed up at my door. It was a Saturday. Raining. I was cleaning out the garage when I heard the knock. I opened the door, and there he was, soaked, holding a plastic grocery bag, looking like a kicked dog.
Donna, please.
I don't have anywhere to go. I stared at him. What happened to Rachel? She kicked me out, he mumbled. Found some emails. I don't know how. Must have been a virus or something. I didn't even try to hide my smile.
He saw it.
His face dropped. You sent it, he whispered. You bitch. I didn't deny it. You cheated. Over and over. I just made sure the truth came out. He stepped forward. I'm still your husband. No, I said calmly. You're not. He lost it. Started yelling, loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Called me a vindictive snake. Said I ruined his life. Said he gave me the best years of his, and now I was trying to bury him. I didn't raise my voice. I just pointed to the street.
Leave.
Before I call the cops. He hesitated. Then he spit on the ground, turned, and walked off. He tried to call me twice that night. Left a voicemail crying. Said he had nowhere to sleep. Said he was staying in his car. Said he couldn't believe how cold I'd become. I didn't respond. Instead, I contacted his boss. I wasn't planning to at first, but I had all the proof. The dates, the hotel receipts, the emails he sent on his work laptop, including one where he skipped a client meeting to meet Rachel at the hotel. I forwarded it all. His boss emailed me back 2 days later. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We are handling the matter internally. That Friday, I heard through a friend that Martin had been fired. And that's when things started getting interesting. After Martin got fired, I didn't hear from him for about 3 weeks. No calls.
No texts.
No surprise knocks on the door. I thought maybe he finally gave up. Then, out of nowhere, I got a message from my old friend Carla. She and I hadn't spoken in a while, life just got busy, but we used to be close back when Martin and I were newly married. She moved to Harrisburg a few years ago, and we just drifted. Her message said, Hey, I don't want to stir anything up, but I saw Martin on a dating app. His profile said he was divorced, rebuilding life after betrayal, looking for a kind soul who understands loyalty. Just thought you should know. I didn't respond right away. I sat with it. He was already on dating apps. Spinning the story, like I was the villain. Calling me the betrayer. It made my blood boil. But then I had an idea. Asked Carla to send me screenshots.
She did.
His full profile. Photos. The same lies he used to tell me, now aimed at strangers. Hard worker, family man, emotionally honest, looking for the one. Then I made a fake profile. I used an old picture of a woman I knew from high school who'd since passed away. No family around anymore. Nothing that could come back on me. I gave her the name Samantha. I matched with Martin within a day. He messaged first. Typical lines. Asked what I did for work. Told me he loved books and dogs and long drives. Said he was tired of fake people. I kept it going for a week. Asked questions. Acted interested. Listened. By day 6, he was sending long messages. By day 9, he asked to meet in person. I agreed. Said I'd meet him at a cafe near downtown Lancaster, 4 p.m. sharp. Told him I'd be wearing a green sweater and jeans. Then I forwarded the entire conversation, including photos, voice messages, and everything, to Rachel. I didn't expect her to reply. But she did. One line. He told me we were working things out. I guess some people never change. Turns out, Martin had moved back in with Rachel after she cooled off. They were trying to start over. And he was on dating apps the whole time. Rachel didn't just kick him out this time. She burned his stuff. Literally. Someone posted a video on Facebook that night. I saw it through a friend. It was Rachel, dragging a big plastic tub into the middle of a parking lot. Tossing in shirts, shoes, papers, then lighting it on fire. You could hear her yelling in the background. I hope your lies keep you warm, you pathetic piece of... You get the idea. That video went semi-viral around town. People figured out who she was. A few figured out who he was. The next week, Martin showed up at the clinic where I work. I was behind the desk, finishing some paperwork, when one of the nurses leaned over and whispered, "Hey, there's some guy up front asking for you."
Kinda sweaty.
Won't stop pacing. I came around the corner. Sure enough, it was him. His hair was longer. His clothes were wrinkled. He looked like he hadn't slept. "What the hell do you want?" I asked flat out. I didn't care that we were in public. He lowered his voice. I wanted to say, "I'm sorry." I blinked. "You think I want an apology here? At my job?" "I got nothing left, Dana." He actually said it. Out loud. In front of 2 nurses and a couple patients sitting nearby. "I lost my job. Rachel won't talk to me. My brother won't let me stay with him. I'm staying at a motel off Route 30. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked, stone-faced. He choked a little, voice shaky. "I just wanted to hear you say I'm not a bad person. I know I screwed up. I know I messed up everything. But I'm not evil. I was lost. You left me. I needed someone. And I just kept falling." I took a deep breath. Then I leaned in real close and said quietly, but clear enough for him to hear every word, "You weren't lost. You were selfish. You wanted more and you took it at everyone else's expense. And you didn't fall.
You jumped.
Over and over again, with your eyes wide open." He didn't say anything, so I turned my back and walked away. After that day at the clinic, Martin never came back. I thought that was the end, but I was wrong again. A few weeks later, I got a certified letter in the mail. It was from Martin's lawyer. He was trying to sue me. Apparently, he claimed I had invaded his privacy by recording him at the hotel and showing the video. He said I ruined his professional reputation and caused him emotional distress. He wanted $75,000 in damages. I stared at the paper for 10 minutes without moving. This man who cheated on me, lied to me, used our money to sleep with someone else, and humiliated me, was now trying to make me pay him? I laughed out loud. Not because it was funny. It was the kind of laugh that happens when your brain just breaks for a second. I called my lawyer right away. She was furious,
but also calm.
She said, "Let him try. We'll destroy him in court." And we did. When the court date came, I brought everything.
The receipts.
The emails. The video. My lawyer built a timeline so tight, you'd think it was a crime case. And in some ways, it felt like it was. Martin tried to act sad and broken in court. Told the judge he was a changed man. Claimed I had stalked him and violated his trust. Then my lawyer dropped the bomb. She showed the judge the dating app screenshots. The fake profile messages. The video of Rachel burning his stuff. The forwarded emails to multiple women. And finally, the moment he showed up at my job and tried to guilt me in front of witnesses. The judge's face was stone the entire time. Then, when it was time to give his ruling, he leaned forward and said, "Mr. Pierce, I don't know if you're delusional or just arrogant, but what you've done is disgusting. This court doesn't owe you anything. In fact, if I could charge you for wasting our time, I would." He dismissed the case. But I wasn't done. I asked my lawyer if we could countersue. Not for money, just enough to make it official. Emotional distress, misuse of marital funds, harassment.
She said yes.
3 weeks later, Martin was ordered to pay me $11,000 in damages, plus cover my legal fees. He didn't have the money. So the court garnished his wages, what little he was making at his new job stocking shelves at a grocery store. He'd finally hit the bottom, and I watched from a distance, knowing he dug the hole himself. But something inside me still felt off, like I needed to close the last chapter. So I drove to Rachel's apartment. I didn't plan to go inside. I just stood near the sidewalk until she opened her door and saw me. She stared for a second, then came down the steps. "I don't want trouble," she said. "Neither do I told her. "But you called me a psycho. You said I drove him away." She looked away. Quiet for a moment. Then she said, "You were right. I should have seen through him. I just wanted to believe someone could love me again." That surprised me. I looked at her. Her makeup was smudged. She looked older than I remembered from that video.
Tired.
Worn out. Don't let him be your last shot at love, I said quietly. You deserve better. We both did. She nodded. We didn't hug. We didn't cry. We just stood there in a strange silence. Not friends. Not enemies. Just two women who got lied to by the same man. I walked away and never looked back. It's been almost a year now. Martin tried texting me again on my birthday. Said he was thinking of me. I blocked him. He's living in a trailer outside York now, working part-time at a feed store. Last I heard, he got caught trying to flirt with a 20-year-old cashier, and someone reported it to HR. Rachel's moved to North Carolina. Started a dog grooming business. We don't talk, but I hear things through mutual friends. And me? I'm still in Lancaster. Still working at the clinic. I bought myself a little cabin outside town with the divorce money and the damages from court. Painted the walls the color I always wanted. Got a rescue dog. His name is Bear.
I've gone on a few dates.
Nothing serious. I'm not rushing anything. For the first time in a long time, I wake up without waiting for the other shoe to drop. There's no more lying. No more watching hotel charges show up on our card. No more pretending everything's okay. And best of all, no more Martin. I thought revenge would feel loud, explosive,
Wild.
but in the end, it felt like peace. It felt like finally breathing.